Plymouth, Britain's ocean city. It's filled with history, interesting marine life, and a gorgeous sea view. This Idaho girl also chose it as the site of her very first international road race this past fall. You'd think it would be easier for me to have accomplished that in Canada, which Idaho actually borders, but I like to make things difficult. I took a 2.5 day trip to Plymouth in October, having flown on a red eye to London from Salt Lake City, not really sleeping, and then taking a train all the way from Paddington Station to Plymouth right after arriving. I began my trip by getting lost on the way to my hotel. I only mention this because everyone from whom I asked directions was very nice and super helpful. People I hadn't even asked for directions on the train helped me as well. I clearly had a bewildered traveler look. So thank you, Plymouth natives, for taking pity on someone who managed to get lost several times on a half-mile walk. My first Thrifty travel trip, use Hotwire or a similar booking site. I ended up paying well under $100 a night for a nice, clean, centrally located hotel with really friendly staff. If you're splitting that cost with someone, you're golden. More money to spend on 10K race admissions? Okay, maybe that's just me. I actually took this trip alone, my first solo vacation ever, so my time was kind of limited, being a scaredy pants and not wanting to be out after dark. One of the first places I stumbled across was the Mayflower Museum. The cost of admission was just £3 for an adult. A family can get in for 8. It tells the story of the Mayflower, which set off from Plymouth as its last port before heading to the Americas. There are fun exhibits to enjoy, and there's a nice overlook of the Barbican and Sutton Harbor at the beginning of your visit. Stepping just outside, you can enjoy looking around the harbor. This is a nice place to check out the harbor, check out some people, and check out some kids harassing some birds. There are actually so many people there that no one seemed to be concerned with a one-woman crew talking into a camera. It was difficult to step away from this view, but another nice feature in the area is the National Marine Aquarium. It's a bit more expensive than the museum, £16 for an adult, $12 for a child, and about $50 for a family. The aquarium includes lots of information about the local marine life, the animals of the Atlantic Ocean, and marine conservation. It's easy to get caught up like a kid and watch what they've got to offer, even if you've seen Deep Blue Sea too many times and don't trust sharks in a tank. Now for everyone's favorite, a free attraction. If you keep walking past the harbor, you'll ultimately end up at the Hoe. That's a coastline park chock full of history that overlooks the Plymouth Sound. Whether you just want to walk along the water or check out the historical sites, it's a great spot that's worth hours of time. This place could easily be used as a Michelle trap because it's filled with history for me to nerd out on, and it's filled with ice cream, so Michelle trap right here. My favorite part is the Naval Memorial. It includes the names of the sailors of the Royal Navy from the First and Second World Wars who had no known grave, most having died at sea. There are more than 20,000 sailors honored there. It's a solemn sight, reminding a visitor of the bravery exhibited by those lost. Another cool feature is Meetin's Tower. That's a lighthouse that was originally built on the Eddystone Reef in 1759 and stood there for more than 100 years. If you've partaken of the usual vacation pastime and eaten way too much, there are all sorts of stairs for you to go up and down here to burn off some of those calories. There's also a ton of historical information about this lighthouse, the prior ones that were placed where this one was, and its replacement. So lots of history, lots of working out. About 2/3 of the structure was moved stone by stone to its current location. If you want to go into the lighthouse, it's only £4, 2 for kids and 12 for a family. Throughout the rest of the site, there's the Tinside Pool, a statue of Sir Francis Drake, and the Royal Citadel. If you're clinically insane and love to run for miles and miles when you're not even trying to catch an ice cream truck, the Plymouth 10K is also a lot of fun. It was the biggest race I've ever been in, seeing as cows outnumber people in my home state. It's always nice hitting the pavement with a bunch of strangers who also clearly need therapy for enjoying running so very much. I regret to inform you that I can't recommend a good cheap place to eat because the Mexican restaurant I settled upon made Taco Bell look like fine dining. I don't know if Mexican food just tastes different in the UK because Mexico is so very far away, but I really wanted to get very far away from these enchiladas and nachos. Just go to Tesco and get Cadbury chocolates for dinner. I mean, I didn't do that for several meals there or anything. Plymouth. Cheap museums, free historical sites, a gorgeous coastline, and thousands of crazy people running just to get a finishing medal. Don't miss it.
Very good at that. Really quickly. So we get 2 sets of teeth for our entire life. That's like 70 teeth, something like that. Sharks have thousands. Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot more than us.